Have you ever sat down with a cup of tea and wondered how much time you really have left? Maybe you've seen the years go by, and now, as you approach your 70s or 80s, you start to feel a little more reflective. You hear the stories about your friends, your neighbors, or even people in your own family who suddenly aren't with us anymore. It's unsettling, isn't it? The thought that something could take us away before we're ready, before we've had the chance to live the life we dreamed about. But here's something powerful I want to share. You still have time. You still have the ability to control a lot more than you might think when it comes to your health and your future. And the truth is, the number one thing that gets in the way of living a long, happy life is not time, it's habits. Now, I know you're probably thinking, I've been living this long with my routines. Why change now? But the reality is, after we hit 75, things change. And it's not just the wrinkles or the extra gray hair. It's our bodies, our hearts, our blood pressure, our circulation, the way we process what we eat, and even how we sleep. The leading causes of death for seniors after 75 don't have to be a fate we all face. The good news is, many of them are avoidable with small, simple changes. Let me share with you a few things that could make a huge difference in how you live out these years. These aren't things you hear about at the doctor's office, but they are just as important, maybe even more so. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night? Your mind racing, maybe your heart beating a little faster than usual. It happens to more of us as we get older than we like to admit. But there's a simple explanation for that. The first danger to avoid after 75 is poor sleep habits. It's not just about being tired the next day. Lack of sleep, or the kind of restless, fragmented sleep many seniors experience, can set the stage for heart disease, high blood pressure, and even strokes. I want you to think about it for a moment. When was the last time you had a truly restful, uninterrupted night of sleep? I'm talking about the kind of sleep where you wake up feeling refreshed, not like you've just spent hours tossing and turning. It's hard to come by, I know. But did you know that poor sleep can lead to a buildup of stress hormones? And over time, that can weaken your heart. Imagine a leak in your plumbing system that slowly gets worse at first. It's a tiny drip, but over the years, it starts to flood the entire house. That's what poor sleep does to your body. If you can't seem to sleep through the night, or if you wake up feeling drained no matter how many hours you've spent in bed, it's time to take action. It could be the very thing that's speeding up your risk of heart disease or stroke. So, let's start with something simple. Try a sleep routine. Wind down before bed, avoid screens, drink some calming herbal tea, and set a consistent bedtime. Your body will thank you. Another small mistake many of us make as we age is skipping daily exercise. I know you're probably thinking, I don't have the energy for that anymore. Or, I'm too old to be running around the block. But let me tell you something. It doesn't take much to get the blood flowing, and the rewards are immense. Do you remember the last time you felt strong? Really strong, not just physically, but in your body's ability to carry you through the day. That strength comes from movement, no matter how simple it may seem. Whether it's a short walk, a few gentle stretches, or even chair exercises, staying active is key to preserving muscle mass and improving circulation. You've probably heard of the term, use it or lose it. And that couldn't be truer when it comes to your body. Muscles that aren't used start to atrophy, and that can lead to weakness, falls, and a decreased quality of life. But when you move even just for 10 or 15 minutes a day, you help your heart pump better, your joints stay flexible, and your bones remain strong. And if you think about it, isn't that what we want? To stay strong, healthy, and independent for as long as possible? Now, let's talk about something that might be affecting more of us than we realize. Unhealthy eating habits. As we age, our metabolism slows down, and our bodies require less fuel. However, that doesn't mean we should cut corners when it comes to nutrition. There's this myth that once you hit a certain age, you don't need to eat as much, but that's far from true. Your body still requires good nutrition, just in different ways. If you're eating the same way you did when you were in your 30s or 40s, it might be time for a change. In your senior years, your body is more sensitive to what you put into it. High-fat, high-sugar diets increase the risk of diabetes, heart disease, and even certain cancers. But don't let that scare you into thinking you need to completely overhaul your entire diet. It's about making small adjustments. Focus on whole foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. Drink water consistently and try to cut back on processed foods. A little bit of change can go a long way toward making you feel more energetic and preventing health problems down the road. These 3 habits: getting better sleep, staying active, and eating healthier, are small but incredibly impactful. The best part? You don't need to completely turn your life upside down to make them work for you. In fact, it's the small steps, the gradual shifts in routine, that build up over time and protect your health in the long run. And if you're starting to feel like some of these changes are too big, just take it one day at a time. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's all about progress, not perfection. Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll dive into a few more habits that could be putting your health at risk. Together, we'll break down these barriers, and you'll have the tools to stay strong, healthy, and happy as you enter your 70s, 80s, and beyond. All right, welcome back. Now that we've tackled the first few habits that could be putting your health at risk, let's move on to the next one. Zones that, if left unchecked, could sneak up on you, and you might not even realize they're harming you until it's too late. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to get used to not feeling quite right? Maybe it's that nagging pain in your knee that's been there for months, or the occasional dizziness you feel when you stand up too quickly. A lot of people dismiss these as just part of getting older, but the truth is, ignoring health issues is one of the most dangerous habits you can have after 75. I know, we all like to brush things off sometimes. It's nothing, we say. Or, I'll be fine. But sometimes, these little things are your body's way of sending you a warning signal. If you ignore that pain in your chest, that shortness of breath, or that sudden weight loss, you could be missing out on the chance to prevent something far more serious, like heart disease, strokes, or even cancer. Let me tell you a quick story. A close friend of mine, let's call him Tom, was the kind of guy who always told himself, "I'm just getting older. This is normal." He had been feeling more tired than usual, had some aches and pains, and had even started forgetting little things here and there. But Tom didn't want to be a bother, and he certainly didn't want to make a big deal out of it, so he didn't go to the doctor. Well, after a few months, things got worse, and Tom ended up in the hospital with a heart attack. Turns out, he had been having symptoms of heart disease for a while, but because he kept telling himself it was just age, he never got checked out. If he had gone sooner, he might have avoided the heart attack altogether. So, the lesson here is simple. Don't ignore your body. If something doesn't feel right, get it checked out. You don't have to suffer in silence, and you don't have to wait until things get worse. Early detection can make all the difference. Whether it's your annual checkup or just a simple visit to your doctor for peace of mind, make it a priority to stay on top of your health. It could save your life. Another habit that's sneaking up on so many seniors without them even realizing it is being isolated or not staying socially connected. I get it, life changes, and as you get older, it can feel like your circle of friends starts shrinking. Maybe family members move away, or you can't get out as much as you used to. But here's the thing. Social isolation is not just a mental health issue. It can have a real, physical impact on your health. Research has shown that people who are socially isolated are more likely to develop high blood pressure, heart disease, and even early cognitive decline. Our brains need social interaction to stay sharp, and our hearts need the support of others to stay healthy. So, let me ask you, when was the last time you truly spent time with friends or family doing something that made you laugh or brought you joy? If it's been a while, it's time to change that. Even if it's something small, like a phone call with a friend or attending a community event, making those connections is so important. You don't have to be super social, but a little human interaction goes a long way in keeping both your heart and mind healthy. Here's a good example. My neighbor Ruth is in her late 80s, and she's one of the most vibrant, positive people I know. But a few years ago, she started feeling very lonely after her husband passed away. She spent a lot of time alone in her house, just reading or watching television, but she wasn't really engaging with others. Her energy started to drop, and she felt like she had less to look forward to. That's when she decided to join a local book club. She didn't know anyone there, but she started going once a week. Over time, she made new friends, and her mood started to lift. It wasn't an overnight change, but it helped her feel more connected, and that made all the difference in her overall health. You don't have to join a book club, of course, but maybe there's a hobby or activity you've always wanted to try, or perhaps you have a neighbor you could invite over for tea. Social interaction doesn't have to be big and overwhelming. Start small, and you'll begin to feel the difference in your heart and your mind. Now, let's talk about something that's incredibly important, yet often overlooked: mental health. We spend a lot of time focusing on our physical health, but how often do we stop to check in with how we're feeling mentally? You might think, I'm fine. I'm just getting older. But if you're feeling more anxious, depressed, or stressed than usual, it's essential to address it. Did you know that untreated mental health issues can have a direct impact on your physical health? Stress, anxiety, and depression can increase your risk for everything from heart disease to high blood pressure. And as we age, our ability to bounce back from mental and emotional challenges can change. So, if you're feeling down or overwhelmed, please don't ignore it. Reach out to someone you trust, whether it's a family member, a counselor, or a support group. Talking about your feelings can help you process them and prevent them from taking a toll on your physical health. One thing I always encourage my friends and family to do is to keep their minds engaged. Try doing puzzles, reading, writing, or even learning something new. Stimulating your brain helps keep your cognitive function sharp and can also give you a sense of purpose and accomplishment. In the next part, we'll dive into the final habits that could be silently affecting your health and longevity. These habits, though often overlooked, can have a significant impact on your overall well-being. But don't worry, we'll talk about how you can easily make simple changes to stay healthy and live your best life as you grow older. Stick around, and let's finish this journey strong. Now that we've covered the first few habits that might be creeping into your daily life, let's talk about the last few. These are the ones that tend to slip under the radar, but when we address them, they have the potential to make a world of difference for your overall health and happiness in your senior years. Trust me, these last habits are just as vital, and with a little effort, you can easily make adjustments that will keep you on the path to a healthier, more fulfilling life. Let's start with something many seniors struggle with: not managing your medications properly. It's easy to think that once your doctor prescribes something, you're all set. But the reality is, many seniors take multiple medications for different conditions, and keeping track of all those pills, dosages, and schedules can get overwhelming. I know, because I've seen it with my own family members. There's a danger in either forgetting a dose, taking the wrong one, or mixing medications that shouldn't go together. These small mistakes can lead to dangerous side effects, hospital visits, and even more serious health issues. It's a tricky situation because we don't always notice the problem until something goes wrong. But here's the good news. There's a simple solution. Start keeping a medication log, or even better, use a pill organizer. Take a few minutes each week to sort your medications and set reminders on your phone. If you're unsure about your medications, ask your doctor or pharmacist to review everything with you. Getting organized can give you peace of mind and ensure that you're taking your medications safely and effectively. It's a small change, but it can have a huge impact on preventing health complications and ensuring your body gets the right support. Now, this next one is something that might surprise you: skipping regular checkups and screenings. I get it, visiting the doctor isn't always the most exciting thing, and it can feel like a hassle. But here's the truth. As we get older, regular health screenings become even more important. It's no longer about just going to the doctor when something is wrong. It's about being proactive with your health. By staying up to date on your screenings, you catch potential issues early when they're easier to treat. For example, regular screenings for cancer, diabetes, or cholesterol levels can help catch things early. If you're over 75, you should be getting routine checkups, including blood pressure checks, cancer screenings like mammograms or colonoscopies, and eye exams. These might not be the most glamorous appointments to look forward to, but they're crucial in catching any underlying issues before they become serious. And don't skip the dentist either. Oral health has a direct impact on your overall well-being, so make sure you're staying on top of your regular dental visits as well. Let me share something with you from my own experience. A dear friend of mine, Linda, always dreaded her annual checkup. She'd skip it whenever she could and didn't think much of it. One year, she finally went in, and the doctor found some early signs of a heart condition. Thanks to that checkup, she was able to get treatment early, and today, she's still going strong. If Linda hadn't gone in, things could have turned out very differently. That one simple step saved her life. Finally, let's talk about something that's incredibly important but often overlooked: mindfully managing stress. As we age, stress can have a more pronounced effect on our bodies. It can increase blood pressure, mess with our immune systems, and even speed up cognitive decline. But here's the catch: you can manage stress effectively, and you can do it with just a few simple tools. One of the best ways to manage stress is through relaxation techniques. Deep breathing, meditation, and even just taking time each day to sit quietly for a few minutes can make a world of difference. Another great method is practicing mindfulness, which means living in the present moment and not letting past regrets or future worries steal your peace. I know it can be easier said than done, but stress doesn't have to control you. Take small moments throughout the day to check in with yourself, to breathe, and to center yourself. When you do this regularly, you'll notice how much lighter you feel, how your body feels less tense, and how much more control you have over your emotions. One thing I always suggest to my seniors is finding something that brings you joy and makes you laugh. Whether it's watching a funny movie, spending time with your grandchildren, or enjoying a hobby, making time for things that lift your spirit is an essential part of stress management. When we laugh, our bodies release endorphins, those feel-good hormones that help reduce stress and make us feel more connected to the world around us. Now, as we wrap things up, I want to leave you with a little reminder. It's not too late. Even if you've spent the past 75 years living in a way that's led to some of these habits, you can always make a change. It doesn't take a complete overhaul of your life, but small steps add up. And remember, these changes aren't about striving for perfection. They're about taking control of your health and creating the best future possible for yourself. It's about staying strong, living longer, and doing the things that bring you joy for many more years to come. You've got the power to live well, to thrive, and to age gracefully with your health and happiness intact. It all starts with the choices you make today. So, take a moment to reflect on the habits we've talked about. What's one small change you can make right now? It doesn't matter where you're starting from, it matters that you're starting. Before I go, if you found this video helpful, I'd love for you to give it a thumbs up. And if you're looking for more tips and inspiration to live a long, healthy life, make sure to subscribe to the channel and join our community of seniors who are living life to the fullest. We'd love to hear your thoughts. So leave a comment below and let us know what habits you're working on changing. Together, we can all live healthier, happier, and longer lives. Take care. And remember, it's not about how long you live. It's about how well you live. Let's make every day count.